let's dive right into something that most people don't realize about men. Sure, we've all heard the phrase, men are visual creatures, but there's a part of attraction that goes way deeper than the surface, way beyond just looks. Men don't fall for just the perfect woman. They fall for the one who feels unforgettable. You know the type, the woman who pops into his mind in the middle of a meeting or while stuck in traffic. It's not that she looks like a supermodel, although, let's be honest, it helps. It's that she knows how his mind works, and she knows how to trigger something in him that no one else can. That is what truly locks him in. Today, we're breaking down 5 psychological turn-ons that hit men harder than mere lust. Warning, once you know these secrets, you'll never compete for attention again. You'll just command it. Ready to take notes? Let's jump right in. 1. The calm dominance effect. Confidence without noise. We've all heard it, right? Men love confident women. But hold up, because there's more to it than just a loud, in-your-face attitude. The truth is, men don't just love confidence. They fall for calm dominance. What does that even mean? Imagine this. You're a woman who doesn't need to shout to be heard. You don't chase, you don't beg, you're not constantly performing for approval. You're calm, centered, and know your worth. And guess what? That calmness, it drives him crazy. Why? Because calm equals control. When you don't react to his mixed signals, his delays, or little ego tests, the whole dynamic shifts. He realizes that he can't easily affect your peace. And here's the thing. Once he knows he can't shake your calm, that's when you start getting under his skin. Every time you respond with grace, every time you don't react to the drama, you're flipping a mental switch in his brain. Instead of you trying to chase his attention, you're commanding it effortlessly. And trust me, that's a game changer. 2. The soft power of emotional contrast. Keep him guessing. Forget about playing hard to get. Men don't get emotionally hooked on what they can't figure out. What they really crave is the emotional roller coaster you give them, a range of emotions that keeps them engaged, alive. Emotional contrast is the magic here. One moment, you're warm and nurturing. You listen to him. You make him feel understood. And the next, you're playful, teasing, challenging him just enough to stir his ego. This keeps him on his toes and his mind wired to keep coming back for more. Why does this work? It's simple. Men get bored when everything is predictable. But when you switch between softness and strength, vulnerability and challenge, that's when his brain gets addicted to the emotional rhythm you're creating. And here's the key. He's not just trying to figure you out, he's trying to feel something new, something exciting. He doesn't want the nice girl or the fiery one. He wants you, the dynamic woman who challenges him and comforts him at the same time. 3. The respect reflex. Boundaries are hot. Here's a little secret. You want to know what's hotter than a perfect body? A woman who knows the power of the word no and isn't afraid to use it. Men flirt with beauty. They adore a good-looking woman. But when it comes to commitment, they fall for women who respect themselves, who set boundaries and aren't afraid to enforce them. Boundaries are the key to self-worth, and self-worth equals value. When a man sees that you value yourself enough to say no when necessary, it sends a powerful message. I'm not here to entertain nonsense. And that message, it hits him right where it hurts, in the best way possible. Let me break this down. Boundaries don't scare men. Emotional laziness does. When you calmly walk away from confusion or disrespect, you flip the script. He realizes that access to you isn't guaranteed, and that makes you 10 times more desirable. It's simple. Boundaries don't make men run. They make boys vanish and leave the men standing. And when he's the one trying to earn your attention, that's when real attraction kicks in. 4. The ego echo. Let him feel like a hero. Let's be real for a moment. Men love to feel capable. It's not arrogance, it's just how they're wired. Their brains are designed to seek competence and approval. And when you acknowledge that, you hit a major emotional switch. When you genuinely appreciate a man for what he does, not with over-the-top praise, but with authentic admiration, his sense of masculinity becomes grounded. You make him feel like a hero without inflating his ego. For example, instead of saying, "You're amazing at everything," try something more specific like, "You always know how to fix things. I love how you handle that." Watch how his posture shifts. Watch how his energy changes. Why? Because appreciation speaks the emotional language that men often don't get from others. It makes them feel seen, and that's more powerful than any compliment. They don't want to be needed, they want to be valued. And when you value him, when you see his efforts without demanding anything in return, that's when his emotional attachment starts growing. It's not manipulation, it's a genuine bond. 5. The emotional bond trigger. Warmth he can't replace. Let's be real. Men might chase excitement, but they stay for peace. They might flirt with drama, but they commit to warmth. And here's a little secret that not many talk about. Warmth isn't about being overly sweet or motherly. It's that subtle energy that says, "You're safe here." You see, men, whether they admit it or not, crave emotional safety just as much as women do. It's not about needing to be fixed or constantly reassured. It's about being in a space where they can just be without fear of judgment or criticism. When you speak to a man in a way that helps him feel understood without belittling, mocking, or attacking him, you create an emotional sanctuary. His nervous system relaxes. That's when his guard starts to drop. And when his guard drops, something magical happens. He starts to associate you with comfort, peace, and home. And no, it's not about fixing him. It's about being emotionally intelligent enough to connect, not correct. You don't have to sugarcoat your truth. Just speak it with warmth and authenticity. For instance, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," try saying something like, "It makes me feel unseen when I'm talking and it seems like your mind's elsewhere." You're still expressing your feelings, but your tone invites empathy, not defensiveness. That shift in energy, that's what separates short-term sparks from lifelong fascination. Because the truth is, a man will risk it all for a woman who can be both strong and soft, who challenges him without chaos, supports him without losing herself, and loves him without begging for love back. That, my friend, is psychological kryptonite. 6. The hidden psychology behind it all. Lust versus emotional connection. Let's break this down from a psychological perspective. Men associate different emotions with different women. Lust triggers adrenaline. It's exciting, temporary, and thrilling. But emotional connection? That triggers dopamine and oxytocin, the chemicals responsible for bonding, trust, and loyalty. And this is why a man might be physically attracted to many women, but emotionally addicted to just one. Why? Because she's the one who hits all his hidden emotional switches: peace, respect, excitement, admiration, and safety. When you activate all 5 of these, you stop being just another woman. You become his emotional reference point, the one every future connection will be unconsciously compared to. And that is the definition of feminine power. Now, here's something important that many women miss. Men don't just want excitement. They want to feel like they're home when they're with you. And no, I'm not talking about just a place to live. I mean they want to feel like themselves, comfortable, safe, and understood. When a man says, "You feel like home," or "I love being home with you," he's not talking about a physical space. He's talking about you. For men, home means peace. It's where they can let down their guard and be real. And when you show him that you are his home, you'll become irreplaceable. Men need that sense of emotional safety, just like women do. But the difference is they often don't know how to ask for it. When you provide that safe space for them, where they can just be themselves,
you'll become the one they can't let go of. 8. The desire to protect, making him feel needed without clinginess. Men love to feel needed, but here's the twist. It's not about you needing them, it's about you wanting them, valuing them. When a man feels like the woman he's with truly values him, his instinct to protect and provide becomes stronger. But it's important to know that there's a fine line. The right balance is powerful. You don't want to be the woman who's constantly demanding attention or acting like you can't live without him. That's clinginess. But when you subtly express, "I could do this on my own, but I'd rather have you by my side," that's when his masculine instincts kick in. That shift from needing him to valuing him is incredibly powerful. When you make him feel needed, but not dependent on him, it creates a bond.
It's rooted in respect, admiration, and trust. And that's when his attraction for you turns into something much deeper. 9. The commitment trigger. Let him choose you every day. This might sound a little counterintuitive, but men don't fall in love with women who chase them or try to lock them down. They fall in love with the women who let them choose. Think about it. The woman who gives him the space to make a decision and choose her every day is the one he'll stay committed to. When you don't pressure him for a commitment, but let him feel that he's the one making the choice, that's when his heart starts to lock in. Men love to feel like they have control over their choices. They want to choose the woman who fits into their lives naturally. The more empowered he feels in making that decision, the more emotionally invested he becomes. If you push him into a corner, demanding commitment or trying to make him prove his love, you'll only push him further away. But if you give him the space to make his own decisions, to come to you because he wants to, you'll create a foundation for a lasting connection. In summary, attraction goes beyond physical looks or surface-level charm. It's the subtle psychological triggers that make a man feel something deeper, a connection that goes beyond lust. When you understand these hidden psychological turn-ons, you'll realize that the real power isn't in competing for his attention, but in commanding it through your confidence, emotional depth, and the way you make him feel respected and valued. Now, armed with these insights, you can stop playing the game and start owning your power in relationships. The way you show up emotionally, how you set boundaries, and how you make him feel respected and valued are the real secrets that keep a man coming back for more. If this video made you think, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more insights like this. And hey, drop a comment below. Let's talk. What part of this surprised you the most? Do you think you've been using any of these triggers without even realizing it? Share your thoughts, because trust me, you're not alone in navigating these dynamics. Let's start a conversation. Your thoughts could help someone else understand these powerful shifts in attraction. Until next time, keep your peace, keep your glow, and remember, the most attractive thing you can wear is self-respect.